Hello, I'm Neve Owens. Welcome to the Isuzu Ute A-League Highlights Show. 6 games spread over 4 days and it all starts in Brisbane on Friday night. The Raw welcome Western United, who are up and running at last and are unbeaten in their last 2. Calling the action is Robbie Thompson and Daniel McBreen.
Milosnic. It's a good ball to the back post. That was heading in. No doubt about it. Fantastic piece of defending from Josh Risdon. As it's known in the lingo. O'Shea now, can he follow suit? Back post, Aldred's header, and it's in this time. And the flag is up for offside. This will have to be looked at because it's strange to see it from a corner.
Comes to Aldred, gets up.
Offside confirmed by VAR, so well done. The switch is a great switch of play again for Courtney Perkins. Here's O'Shea. Oh, lovely football this, and it's in the back of the net, and it's Carlo Armiento again. This time with the right boot as he celebrates his 3rd goal of the season down in front of the Western United fans. O'Shea looks up. Big switch of play, fantastic ball. Courtney Perkins now, Armiento hits it! Oof. It's always a worrying moment when the goalkeeper just stops and looks. Wales drives the cross in, it was a good one! Botic's header, I think that's come off Aldred last. But that was a great chance. Risdon's ball in, and Prijovic stoops to conquer. In the 78th minute, they've done it again. The stats don't lie, Daniel McBreen. Prijovic on the score sheet, his 3rd of the season. Josh Risdon switching to the left flank, providing the difference. It's 1-1 with 12 minutes left to play. Milanovic with a little touch on it, keeps it alive with Risdon. Forced to dive in. Piraeus one way then the other. Shoots just over the crossbar. Brilliant effort from the substitutes combining, and Dylan Piraeus so close. Neville with Akbari. Outside for Hingett. The bouncing ball, it's hooked up. Defensive header from Wales, driven back in! Courtney Perkins with a thunderbolt from the left boot. And there was nothing too shabby about the save from Jamie Young again.
It went like a tracer bullet towards that far post. Jamie Young, alert as ever.
It's all over. The 5 minutes of stoppage time and not a minute more. And Brisbane do climb momentarily into the 6. It's finished here at Amy Park. Western United 1, Brisbane Roar 1.
The Central Coast Mariners and Melbourne Victory battle it out on New Year's Eve in front of a bumper crowd to farewell local hero Garang Kuol, who was playing his last A-Leagues game before joining Newcastle United in the EPL. Your commentators are Simon Hill and Andy Harper.
You can still see the after effects of the sprinklers on the pitch. Giving it a thorough dousing pre-game. Good ball by Kuol. There's Rue looking to float it. Cummings! 1-0 Mariners! Melbourne Victory stood like statues. And Jason Cummings has his 5th of the season. And the Mariners get their noses in front in the 11th minute. Cleo slices across it. Kaltak's header. Cummings almost onto it. Still alive. Blasted towards goal by Steele, and then Cummings! It's a double for Jason Cummings. Melbourne Victory scrapped and scrambled, but they could not get the ball away. And that's what natural goal scorers do. Always in the right place at the right time.
No, how? Offside.
Well, Victory will probably feel as though justice is done there, because it really shouldn't have been a corner in the first place. Ryan Marchand and Cadete going to try and find that top corner, and hasn't he done so with aplomb? That is a beauty from the Spaniard. It's 1-1 in Gosford. And it's the left fullback who has struck for victory. Steele, Tulio, Cummings, trying to bend it. Not far away by the looks of Jason Cummings. Which Marco Tulio will take, the home fans raising the noise levels. Back post is Kaltak, and he did reach it, it's got in! Jason Cummings gets the credits. He does have a double now, one rule down in the first half. I don't think they're going to take that one off him, and the Mariners restore their lead. By Kaltak strongly, now Garang Kuol getting the motor running. Nigo trying to stay with him, slips it through. Nisbet, it's a really strong arm by Matt Acton, or is it? No. Daniel Older says penalty.
Great forward run, he gets the ball.
He's got the ball.
Clearly got the ball.
And that was our first instinct, I think, that he got a strong arm to the ball.
Yeah.
This is going to be overturned. If it's not, there's going to be a steward's inquiry. What's the verdict here?
Clear error.
Well, the Mariners fans don't like it, but again, I think justice has been done there. Garang Kuol, as he makes his way off the pitch in Gosford for the very last time before that big move to the English Premier League with Newcastle United. What a talent he is. We've so enjoyed watching him in the A-League. Daniel Elder, Michael Roos on the charge, has Silvera outside him. Going to go himself, Roos. A stinging drive that brought out the best in Matt Acton. And there we go, all over. And what a great game to round out 2022. Victory suffer, back-to-back defeats. Central Coast Mariners 2, Melbourne Victory 1.
On New Year's Day, Sydney FC head north up the M1 to take on Newcastle Jets. The Sky Blues sit 11th on the table and need to take something out of this clash. Your commentators are Robbie Thompson and Andy Harper.
Piscopo, nice first touch. And tries the effort. And it required tipping over by Redmayne. Redmayne again, Pratt. See the high press coming from Newcastle. They follow them in. They try and peg them in. Can Sydney play out? They can. With Caceres in space. Now Caballo joining the attack down this left-hand side. Lafondra wants it at the back post. It's a great ball. It's a great finish. And Sydney have stung Newcastle on the counter-attack. Precision football, clinical finish. Sotirio and Piscopo in those wide attacking roles as Caceres into the area. Little touch for Robert Mack. He's done that brilliantly. 2 goals in 3 minutes. And Sydney have blown the Jets out of the sky here. Toe poke of a finish from Robert Mack. And they have made lax defending pay once again. Here's a man still on view, very much so. Burgess onto the right boot and just kicked away at the last by Duncan.
Excellent, Jack Duncan. Really great reaction, needed to be.
Who's it going to be? It is O'Neill. And it was over the wall and missing that top corner of the goal. Becca darts Melia. Here's the player replaced. Elsie, good ball for Mikkel Tadze. Timmins. Not sure if it was intended as a shot. Mikkel Tadze. Ball in back post. Hoffman leaping for it. Oh, the clearance is not a good one. Elsie. And it's saved on his line by Redmayne. Ingham. It's left, back outside with Piscopo. And the shot, out of nothing from Mikkel Tanzeng. His claim, the 4 minutes of stoppage time are up. And Sydney climb from second bottom to fifth. It's a great start to the new year for them.
Join us after the break as we wrap up the rest of the action from round 10. Welcome back to the Isuzu Ute A-League Highlights Show. It's Derby Day in Western Sydney and there's plenty on the line. It's 3v4 and the winner of Western Sydney and Macarthur will jump to second in the league. Calling the game is Simon Hill and Daniel McBreen.
A threaded ball through for Mombwa. Toure wide, Wietz alongside him. Still Al Hassan Toure.
Finding a little bit of space to drive forward and get that ball out to Toure, and it actually clipped the post.
It was close. And he goes for goal, took a deflection and in! Philip Curto totally wrong-footed by that touch off the defender, and Yeni Mbakoto will claim that one, his second goal in red and black, and the Wanderers edge in front. Here goes Kusini Yengi down the left, and he's away from Jake Holman, and they're queuing up here. It's Bozanic, it's two! What a goal from Oli Bozanic! Sensational placement! 2 goals in 2 for the former Socceroo, and the Wanderers are in dreamland and wonderland. A drop here for the Wanderers. Knocked out by Malfitano for Yengi. What a ball, and Bozanic, and it required the stop from Philip Curto to prevent a third. Craig Noon, and it comes back off the crossbar with everybody stood watching, including Lawrence Thomas. Well, that's the second time they've hit the frame of the goal, MacArthur.
Someone who can unlock a defence in a 1v1 situation, and the delivery he can pose as well. When you're looking to, just let this go.
There's Najareen. Yengi. Fleur lets it run. Borello seals the deal. And an acrobatic celebration as well. His second goal in Wanderers colours. Philip Curto could do nothing about it. 3 goals for the Wanderers, and surely 3 points as well. Easy win that though for Borello, who will drive towards the penalty box and square it up for Rami Najareen. Good save, Curto, because that was heading for the top corner. Now the game becoming rather stretched. It's Zach Sapsford on the right, Gabriel Kleur galloping forward to try and give him an option. Oh, that's a collision of legs, going to be a penalty surely, yep. Gabriel Kleur collected with the trailing leg of the defender. Thumps it home. A cherry on top for Western Sydney Wanderers. It's going to be their biggest win of the season. 4-0 in this local scrap with the Bulls.
Well, it's been a great performance today from Western Sydney. Rami Najareen arcs his run and goes with pure power down the middle.
And there we have it. And it's Marco Rudan who wins the battle of the former Sydney FC players on the benches. Full time at Combank. Western Sydney Wanderers 4, Macarthur 0.
Let's head across the ditch to New Zealand now as Wellington Phoenix welcome the table-topping Melbourne City to town. A win for the Knicks will see them move into the top 6. Your commentators are Jason Pine and Jacob Spoonley.
I imagine regardless of how this game progresses, we will see him today. And given cameos in the last couple of matches.
Sass forward to Kraev, who's popping up all over the place, as is Callan Elliott, and to David Ball! What a clever goal for the Englishman! He opens his account this season with a very, very clever finish. to a 1-0 lead. Instant response coming though from Melbourne City, and McLaren couldn't tuck in the rebound after the clever little flip from Matthew Leckie, I think. Almost a carbon copy of what we saw at the other end. Ball still there for Melbourne City, away by Wooten. We'll have another look in a moment, but you can't take your eyes off this as Melbourne City look for an instant response. Tilio. And the header is in this time from Leckie. Well, the lead did not last very long at all. Matthew Leckie denied with the clever flick just a moment ago. But as the cross came in this time, it was Matthew Leckie, so prominent for the Socceroos in Qatar in recent weeks, who has risen to nod the league leaders level.
You simply cannot switch off.
Moragas gets the cross and it's a good one. Zavada!
Well, it looks like there was a fortunate touch off a Melbourne City defender on the way through.
Glover's fallen over. He's presented it to Zavada, who can't finish. Almost a calamity for Thomas Glover.
And here it is. Tom Glover takes the touch. And what happens is he clips his own ankles. But then a very, very lucky boy.
There's another couple of questions coming the way of the Wellington defence as Tilio again dribbles into the penalty area, goes down. Eyes on the referee, who has given a penalty.
The ball got away from Marco Tilio. Crave thought he could get there.
Jamie McLaren. Was there ever really any doubt? Goals in 9 successive A-League men's matches, a new competition record. 11 now this season, miles ahead of the chasing pack in the Golden Boot race. A-League men's goal number 131 for Jamie McLaren, just 11 short now of Bessart Barish's all-time mark. Lewis again looks to deliver. Again, it's elevated. Wooten with the first header, away by Van der Ven. Back it comes to Zavada! They were looking for a flag on this near side. Here's Barbarouses. Costa Barbarouses. Now the shot from Van Hannem. Now Zavada. Oscar Zavada dancing around, can't get the shot away. And Melbourne City do enough to scramble it clear. Kudos to Tom Glover in amongst all of that.
Oh, that's a big save. That could go a long way towards guaranteeing 3 points for Melbourne City.
Melbourne City now break forward with Nabbout up outside Matt Leckie. Into the path of Andrew Nabbout. And Jamie McLaren is going to apply a cherry on the top of Melbourne City's performance here. A dozen goals this season for Jamie McLaren. And this one has killed Wellington off. A fast break involving Leckie and Nabbout. And to apply the finish, there's no better man than Jamie McLaren. There's your final score at Sky Stadium. The Wellington Phoenix 1, Melbourne City 3.
The final game of the round comes from Cooper's Stadium in South Australia. Perth Glory on the road once again, taking on Adelaide United in front of the Reds faithful. Calling all the action is Teo Palizzeri and Phil Moss.
For the majority of this opening 11 minutes, and he's obviously pinning Khalifi back as well. So it's a little bit of a game of cat and mouse.
Here's Ryan Williams going for a shot. It kept rising. He knows that he actually caught that not too bad, but it went over the bar in the end. Question of the delivery. Beavers trying to guard him, whips it in. And Clough nearly got the header to stay low, and instead it flies out with a thumbs up. Halloran. A kind deflection. Ibasuki didn't pull the trigger. Cuts it back instead for Goodwin. A deflection, and it goes wide. Well, Hiroshi Ibasuki, we were waiting for a swinging leg at a shot, and it just never came. Just bombs away, back in, Ibasuki is up, Reddy is down, and the ball through is in! It's a first A-League goal for Lachlan Barr, and it breaks the deadlock in Adelaide.
Well, it's the pressure from the second phase that pays off here for Adelaide United, and I think it's a goalkeeping error by Liam Reddy. As the ball's cleared there on the Harvey Norman replay, and it's Klupp, I think, who just sends it back into an area. I think there's enough defenders there to deal with it. Liam Reddy doesn't need to come. He'll be disappointed when he sees that back.
Sure that he'll be given ample opportunities in his more natural position to show what he can do. Craig Goodwin whips it into the box, and it's set up kindly, but is skied high by Halloran. Was there a touch from Beavers, the defender? It looks like it's a corner. Well, that's Clisby. The cross is deflected, it sits up in Ivanovic. Well, he's still waiting for that first goal in glory colours, and even with the aid of a kind deflection, he wasn't able to steer it onto the target. Khalifi, Amini, first time ball, whipping it into the area. Here's the chance for Beavers, and it's saved by Gauchi. There was no power behind the shot. Panache Madanya ran out of ideas and ran out of space, so he doubles back around and reloads. Isaias off the crossbar. Well, that would have been a thrilling end to the move after Madanya had roamed down the right, but Isaias, he misses out.
Well, what a great action from Adelaide. Started by that man there, Madanya. What a strike that is from Isaias. You don't come any closer to scoring without it actually hitting the back of the net. Wonderful technique.
Goodwin shuffles it on first time for Klupp. Ivasuki on his bike in the middle. And Halloran is unmarked. It's 2 for Adelaide. The home fans in raptures. And Ben Halloran has the Red Army marching.
Well, what a brilliantly fashioned goal by Adelaide United in front of their adoring fans. Craig Goodwin on the Harvey Norman replay plays Klupp in. Ivasuki's run is absolutely key to the near post to take Keevers away and open up the space for an easy tap in for Ben Halloran.
Now Kasimovic, deflected attempt. It's going to fall for Juande. Well, spectacular, but not quite the juice from the top of the box in order to trouble Liam Reddy. This will signal full time and a win for Adelaide. And so 2023 starts with a clean sheet and 3 points in the bank. It starts with the first professional goal for Lockie Barr and his first in the A-League men's to boot. The Perth Glory back to the drawing board. They have a pretty tough task against Western Sydney Wanderers coming to town next. All over at Cooper Stadium, Adelaide United 2, Perth Glory 0.
Before we go, let's have a quick look at the league table. City remain top of the pops with a game in hand, but outside of the Melbourne side, there is plenty of jostling for position in the top 6. The Wanderers win moves them up into second place on the table, and the Sky Blues celebrate an important 3 points. At the other end of the ladder, Tony Popovic's side has lost 3 on the trot and fallen well down the table. The Glory will be stoked to be heading into a run of 4 games on the trot back at home on the West Coast. That's it from round 10. We'll see you next week for more Isuzu Ute A-League action.